my screen. Let's see if it's available. It's visible.
Right now, we can't see your screen.
Yeah, it's saying it's connecting, but
Sure. Hey guys, so we're back with our next team, TransXT. The team members are on stage right now, and they'll be presenting shortly. So, please give a thumbs up if you can see the screen of the presenter. Thumbs up. We can see your screen. Vishesh, over to you. You guys have 12 minutes.
thank you. Firstly, again, I would like to thank everyone for the opportunity. So let's begin and go straight at it. So we've created FinTransXT, your personal money management app, and our team's name is TransXT. Cutting right to the chase. The team consists of 4 members: Colleen, Bhupesh, myself, Vishesh, and Shreya. Each of us contributed to the project in a different manner and learned from each other, which made it an exciting opportunity for all of us. So, exactly what are we doing? We identified two major problems in the current ecosystem, and we created solutions tackling each one of them. Firstly, was the lack of a single view of money because of the limited data ingestion from SMSs only. This is something that we are now trying to solve by creating a single view using the account aggregator framework. The second is the user functionality being limited to see insights and recommendations, but not being able to take actions on these insights and recommendations. The way we thought about addressing this problem was to get the three pillars of the India stack under one hood. That is namely your account aggregator, your Bharat Bill Pay, and UPI. So not only now you see your insights and recommendations, but you actually be able to process transactions and take actions on those insights. So now let's hear from someone we all know very well what exactly FinTransXT is. Just to give a little context, this is a deepfake video that we've created, and it's obviously something that it's an internal technology that we're building on. So here you go. Let's hear Shah Rukh Khan talk about FinTransXT in this test deepfake video.
Hi guys, hope you are doing well and welcome to our presentation. TransXT is a money management application that provides unique insights, trend analysis and recommendations on your complete financial life. Moreover, it also acts as a platform to take necessary financial actions for each individual person.
Okay, so here was a brief demo of what exactly FinTransXT does. But now let's understand in a more deeper perspective how exactly we want to go about and how exactly we build the entire application. Ariman, this is the time that I'd like you to present the UI that we've made and the demo.
Yeah, coming up. I just have the video, so if that's what you mean, that's what I'm playing right now.
Yeah.
Okay, the video will come on in a second. You can stop your screen share if you like. The video will come shortly. Okay, starting the video.
Welcome to FinTransXT. In the following screens, we'll be walking you through the flow of the app. The app opens with the login page, followed by screens that educate the user about the app functionality. We offer a single view for your money, the ability to track your spends, get unique insights about your spends, get bill payment reminders, and even the ability to pay through your app. The screen starts with the user entering his mobile number and getting an OTP for verification. The user then enters the OTP into the app. Post this, he selects an email ID to link the account to. The next thing the user needs to do is set up a 4-digit security PIN as an additional security measure. It's this security PIN that he will use to enter the app as well later. The following screen shows this. The app then checks the presence of a VUA for the user. As we have integrated with OneMoney, the registration page opens for the creation of a VUA if the user does not have one. The following screens demonstrate this. Now, once the OneMoney ID has been created, the steps for account linking starts. In the background, we send a data request through our MoneyOne integration to the user. The user selects the banks he wants to link and the frequency, the deletion rate, and the type of data that is being requested. Finally, we're taking you to the dashboard, which analyzes the processed data. Here on top, the user can see his net worth, and below, the money that he owes, the credit cards, the money that he has, the bank accounts. Clicking on the individual bank accounts show the incoming funds, the expenses, which are further segregated by using the machine learning model that processes this aggregate data. Clicking on each of these expenses or the funds, we can actually see the deep dive transaction level details. The account balance is also mentioned at top to give the user greater insights. Just like we showed for the money in the bank accounts, we can also see the money that you owe, which is your credit cards. Here again, we can see the segregation of the category, the outstanding balance of the card, as well as the various transactions that the user has made. On the top right, you can see the categories like food, shopping. Just like we saw the segregation for the particular bank account and credit card, we can also click on the Money Sorter tab at the bottom, which allows you to see your incoming funds and expenses and transaction level details on an aggregate level. Another functionality is the Spending tab at the bottom. Clicking on that gives you a view of various spends that the user has made. A visualization over here gives a greater insight to the user. The machine learning model is actually what enables all these categories to get marked for the individual transactions. The app also has the capability through its ML model to identify recurring payments. As you can see over here, the rent is due in 5 days. Not only do we autofill the UPI and the amount, but also allow you to make payments on these insights and recommendations that the app is telling you. This is done through our integration with UPI and Bharat Bill Pay. This feature of not only just getting insights and recommendations from the app, but able to complete the transactions and take actions on these recommendations is something we think is of great value. This can be seen in the following screens. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
So this is Kalin here. We'd just like to say that we have skipped through certain screens from demo purpose, like the consent and all. And this is a full-fledged PSP app, which would have the virtual address, the bank account linking for a UPI also. And we would be stitching in future the journey of VUA as well as a journey of a virtual address creation for UPI. I think Aryaman has dropped, so I think we could go to the questions, if any.
So just one thing, can you see my screen again?
Yes, we can.
So just carrying on, as Colleen mentioned, we also made sure that we are coming on the completeness angle and hence created all these integrations and presented the view by providing this UI. Going to the next step, in terms of next step, we've identified four broad categories: expanding, visualizing, showcasing, and evolving. Expanding is to increase the data coverage, the data investments, and create a holistic view for the entire user. Second is to further improve on the UX as we get data feedbacks from the user consumer facing. Thirdly is showing deeper level of insights and visualizations also. And lastly is further evolving the MN model that allows us to categorize transactions and even provide the goal-oriented recommendations. The methodology that we broadly walked through was in these 6 stages. It was the integration with One Money and Money One, building the ML model which categorizes the data, recognizes the recurring transactions, provides you actionable recommendations, the internal APIs for creating the visualizations, a UX that minimizes and improves the consumer experience, the linkage to both UPI and BBPS to act on these recommendations and make those transactions, and finally was the storage of the data. Thank you for the time, and we're open to any questions. I'll stop my screen sharing now.
Vishesh Suzamit, quick question. Thank you for this. how do you think about customer acquisition, and what will be your customer acquisition hooks and channels?
Got it. Kalin, you want to take this one?
So it would be bank driven because we would be integrated with the bank as a PSP. It would also be marketing driven, and there is where we would have to push the thoughts of a one view, actionables, recharges. BBPS, as you know, has a lot of new elements coming in day by day. Now they've added insurance premiums and taxes will be so. It would be a more of a marketing and a bank driven approach towards customer acquisition.
And how will you differentiate this from other bill payments or payment services that are available today? What will be the differentiating factor?
So there are two things. One is insights about your portfolio, and your bill payments is one thing. Second thing is if you see the apps in the market right now is always about your bill payments. But as a head of a family or as a member of the family, you're not only paying your bills, you're paying your parents' bills, you might be paying your wife's bill, etc., etc. So as of now, though it is integrating only your accounts and getting recommendations and all, creating a reminders and a very strong module of doing any payments for anybody, maybe under a family tree, it could be fees linked to BBPS, and so that is how it would differentiate from others. The insights is what would be the stickiness to the app and
Correct.
other recommendations.
So just to add on to Carleen's point, while creating the ML model and also while building, we made sure we're not just giving you level 1 insights as in your spends, but we're also working on deep diving and being able to act on these spends in a very personalized manner. That's something that's actually a work in progress, and that's actually going to be one of the major differentiators for the app.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Hi, this is Ram here.
So you said your ML model, right? Can you throw some light on where you are? I mean, is that working model that you have built, or is it what you showed on the app was just cooked up data, or is it real ML based out?
Sure. So it's actually a real-based ML model. I myself am a senior data scientist, and I built it from scratch. We created a large data set consisting of a large number of financial transactions from all our friends, family, etc. Post creating that, to give you some light into the model, certain factors such as your date, amount, your transactional narrations were then created by using BERT, by which were combined into an embedding format. The embeddings were then used to categorize into particular types of transaction categorizations. For example, embedding will basically convert the word literature into a mathematical format of 512 features, which will then allow you to categorize each transaction narration along with the different features into a particular category of spend. So this is actually something from scratch end to end. And I can give you more details if you want.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
So my question was also on the ML side, and the data was one thing. What about the user persona? Did you think about any of the identification of user personas and then targeting them differently?
Sorry, could you repeat the question? I think my voice was the voice came muffled.
Okay, is this clearer?
Yeah.
Yeah, what I was asking is, did you have a way to segment the users you used? You said that goal-oriented recommendations, right? So did you train your ML model such that it aligns to the user persona rather
Exactly.
than, yeah.
So just give you a broader perspective on that same thing is post creating the entire data set across all users, we have the capability to select certain segments, as you call it, and then learn from just within that segment about the type of financial data and transactions, categories, expenses that allows us for creating recommendations for just that particular cohort. So while there is a global database, we made sure we have the capability to create user segmented databases, which then the model learns on. One challenge over here, as you would understand, would be the data quantity. And that's something exactly what we're working on. As the data boosts up, we're creating multiple segments along multiple lines to identify users and provide it to those recommendations.
Hey, guys, I have a question on your right to win. There are quite a few PFM apps out there that offer insights, have integrated with things like BBPS, UPI, now offer products. And presumably, A, being an open architecture, will be used by all of these apps at some point. You mentioned several different features and tools over the course of the presentation. What's the one that you're taking a big bet on that will be your right to win in this space, given that it's already got quite a few players?
Colleen, you want to take this?
I think it would be the deeper insights and the model. I think we are pretty sure that would be the game changer in this. Besides that, our capabilities on the UPI and BPPS and stitching the systems together. So we are a TSP for multiple banks and we run the switches. So we know the ins and outs of the systems and stitching them along with the other systems and giving the user a seamless experience and a flow would be the game changer, I feel.
Guys, sorry, but we need to move on to the next team. So we are going to take a short break and go backstage with the judges, and we'll be back shortly with our next team. So thank you very much, team